Hi, Carrie. Oh, you're muted.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for coming. This is the governance committee of the Mansfield Downtown Partnership. And thank you for applying for the student position. So we have a board that is comprised of people from the town, the university, and then there's a student rep position that you've applied for. And we wanted to go through some of the questions that you put in your, to sort of expand on the questions that were part of the application. My name is Frank Gifford. I'm a board member, a representative from Yukon, and serve as the chair of the governance committee. What we're going to do is just go through some of our other members here of the committee, have questions, and just to save time here, they're going to quickly introduce themselves and then get into the question. All right?
Yeah.
Great. Diana, do you want to kick us off?
Certainly. Hi, Carrie. I'm Diana Peltier. I'm an emeritus board member. I work in town here at one of our elementary schools, and I also live in Mansfield. So my first question for you is, what characteristics, skills, and experiences would you contribute to the board?
Well, I did take an entrepreneurship class this summer, and so I feel like I learned a lot of teamwork and business skills. And I also do have leadership experience this semester. I did have 2 leadership roles, so I know how to be collaborative and contribute and how to be creative.
Thank you.
Betsy?
Thank you. Hi, Carrie. I'm Betsy Patterson. I'm a board member emeritus, former mayor of the town of Mansfield, and I've been with the partnership since the very beginning. And my question for you is, why are you interested in being the student representative on the board?
Well, I feel like being a representative would be a great opportunity to expand on my leadership skills, and also a great way to make connections as like a college student. And yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, Frank, and welcome, Carrie. How are you this evening?
I'm good.
Good. Nice to meet you. I have my question is, how would you get your fellow students interested in the downtown through participation or advocacy or things like that?
I feel like people my age pay attention to social media a lot, especially like easy to read infographics, and like cartoons and stuff like that. But other than that, just like word of mouth is like very effective, especially in college when you're in like big discussion classes or like big labs and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. And I neglected to say, my name's Sean Vasington. I work at the University of Connecticut. I'm also a resident of Mansfield.
Okay.
Thank you. Steve.
Hi, Carrie. My name is Steve Bacon. Welcome to our meeting. I'm an emeritus board member. I live in Mansfield, and when I was active on the board, I was a representative of the business community. We've found that the candidates for this particular board position are very involved students in many different activities on campus. In other words, they're very busy people, and you certainly qualify. It's essential that our student representative be able to attend board meetings, and we meet on the first Thursday of the month, starting at 4:30. And our board meetings generally last about an hour and a half. So typically from 4:30 to 6 on the first Thursday of the month. My first question is, will your schedule next year, assuming you know what your schedule will be, would permit you to attend board meetings during the course of the year?
Yes, for sure. On Thursdays or in general, I don't have any classes past 4:30. And my latest class on Tuesday and Thursday is like online, and it's not like we don't meet. So I definitely am free during those times. I'm pretty sure next year.
And to follow up on that, we do meet we have an annual meeting in June, and we typically meet in August. So that's during the summer break. Do you anticipate you're going to be on campus this summer and in summers in the future? Do you know yet?
This summer, to be honest, I do not plan to be on campus, but summers in the future, I might be on campus like in August, depending, like if it's like mid-August or late August, I might be on campus like in the future.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Cynthia, did you have a follow-up question? Did you have something?
Yeah, hi Carrie. We
Hi.
corresponded by email. I'm Cynthia Vance. I'm the director of the Mansfield Downtown Partnership. I wonder, Carrie, if you could expand a little bit on, you had mentioned your leadership roles, and I know from your resume about starting Carrie's Closet, your own business, and that you were involved with the Yukon Learning Community Council. Could you expand a little bit on both of those roles?
So yeah, I'm part of the Learning Community Council. Within the Learning Community Council, there's different committees, and I'm on the Social Affairs Committee, which means, hold on, just give me 1 second. Sorry. So basically, as part of the Social Affairs Committee, I help plan events and make sure they're running smoothly, and volunteer at events as well. But there's also like a lot of meetings before we actually execute an event for learning community members, so that they're effective and as best as they can be. And then like my other leadership role is like charity chair of Pre-Health Club. And so I make sure all my members are like fundraising and supporting an organization, and demonstrating that they care about others. So yeah.
Great. And you want to briefly tell us about Carrie's Closet? It sounds like you started that.
Yeah. I focus on that every summer or winter break when I have more free time, but I really do like clothes and like fashion, and I'm learning more and more about designing, especially since I'm part of the costume club here at UConn as well. So it's just like a little hobby of mine that I'm like exploring and like trying to get better at. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Excellent. Kyle.
Hi, Carrie. My name is Kyle Muncie. I'm the Director of Brand Partnerships and Trademark Management here at the university, and I also serve as the current president of the board. And it's very nice to meet you, and you sound incredibly busy. And I guess my question would be, do you feel like time management is a particular skill of yours? Because it obviously, we've been remarkably fortunate to have excellent student leadership in this position in the past. And frankly, we've become very reliant on the student position on the board and student input. So I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about your time management skills and just sort of how you deal with everything that you have going on.
Yeah, I'm a really organized person, and I do have really good time management skills, and that's how I'm able to like be so busy. Even though I have a lot of stuff going on, I still do have free time like some days because of my like good time management skills. Like I just like to plan ahead. Like I have a weekly schedule, like a routine. So Yeah, that's like the best way I could explain it. Like time management just comes naturally to me.
That's great.
Thank you.
I wanted to make sure that you had some time as we wrap up in case you had some questions for us, for this committee about the position, but also wanted, if I could ask myself just one more question, if there's a particular area. I know it sounds as if you have some marketing experience, but I wasn't sure if you also had interest in other areas. We have for program planning as well as finance or budgeting. Do you have other areas that you feel like you'd be interested? I didn't want to just plug you into marketing.
Yeah. Marketing sounds good, but also program planning sounds like something I would be great at. As for like finance and budgeting, I feel like I'm not like an expert. Like you need to be like really good at it, that to take on that role because it's a lot of responsibility. So, but yeah.
Do you have any questions of us?
How big is the representative board? Like I know I just meant like all the adults, but like are there any other student representatives or is it just like one student representative?
Right now, it's a board that is comprised of 15 members where we have one student representative.
Okay. Yeah, it's really nice. Is the board really collaborative?
I think it's very collaborative, but I'm going to defer to our president, Kyle Muncy.
I mean, I think absolutely and we are, headed into a particularly busy phase as a board. We are implementing a strategic plan for the downtown that is, going to involve, several working groups that have already been formed, in addition to the normal board meeting times. And as I said, I think there's going to be more reliance than ever on the student members to generate, student engagement, as well as to help us gauge student opinion as we start to move forward with a lot of the initiatives relative to the strategic plan, our engagement with property owners. One of the things that we do, Carrie, is we meet with the property owners on a regular basis. And we're trying to be more engaged with them about the types of businesses that they're bringing to the downtown, right? So while we all may be fans of noodle shops and pizza, I'm sure there are some other things that we might like in the downtown as well. So that's part of what we do. And we try to engage with those property owners, but as much as anything else, we want to engage with the community of Mansfield to make sure that the downtown is a place that they're interested in visiting. And obviously there's no bigger part of that community for most of the year than the students. So you'd be the student in this role on this board plays a really critical role and has a very critical voice in what we do.
Thank you, Carrie, for joining us and expanding upon your application. I'm going to ask Cynthia to just review what next steps are.
Yeah, so Carrie, we are completing our interviews today, and the committee hopes to make a recommendation to the full board in the next couple of days, and then fully engage the new student rep starting in late May, if not early June. Prabhas KC is our current student rep, and he's graduating this weekend. His term goes through till June 30th, but we like to have a little bit of transition. So that's the plan.
Yeah, that sounds good and understandable.
That's it. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for meeting with me. Okay, bye.
All right.
All
Bye-bye.
right, bye.
thanks for that follow-up question, Cynthia. I had that was well placed. I was interested in the Carrie's closets as well.
Yeah, just trying to bring out a little more info. And
Yeah, we burned through, the questions early on. You never know what the pacing is going to be of these. So
Right.
it was helpful to get the greater depth, and you jumped in right at the right time. It must be particularly distracting. So you can tell, like, she's living, I think that was over at Shippey. It looked like I was trying to place where she was, what building she is. It's sort of like a little
you're
test.
good at that, Frank.
Yeah. And like, there's you're in the dorm, you're trying to focus on your interview, and people are coming and going. How do they study?
I don't know. I was in the library a lot. I definitely couldn't be in the dorms. That's for sure.
Sean, we were commenting on how campus looks beautiful right now. Everything's getting ready. The grounds look great.
Mother Nature is starting to cooperate, as she usually does this time of year, but very late this year, very late. I can't recall a year where the leaves have been so stubborn. And I'll tell you, having driven up from Georgia a week and a half or so ago, it seemed like as soon as we hit the Connecticut state line, there was a hard stop on foliage. And, or at least once we got out of Stamford, I don't know where the leaves went. And they've been shy ever since. So incredibly late.
Next week should help, right? In the 70s, 80s.
Yeah, things will pop just in time for everyone to be off campus.
Yeah, I know.
But that's okay. But I appreciate the compliment. Obviously, we got a whole team of people in facilities and their contractors that make it happen every year. So I will be sure to pass on the regards.
I have to say, Sean, we still enjoy it every morning. Dermot and I run on campus, and the people that work on the grounds have to be the nicest people ever. It's like every morning they stop their machines as we run by, because we wouldn't want to interrupt our run, I'm sure. I mean, it's amazing. They're always so kind and good morning, and it's lovely.
Nice. Diana, we missed the choral concert last night, but I heard it was very well done.
Yeah, I just did the school one during the day. And it's so nice to get back to those things. Like it's just really nice to be able to have them out there singing again and, doing their thing on that kid level. They love it. And our music teacher is amazing. So yeah, it was fun.
I do have Rachel in the waiting room if you all are ready.
Great. Terrific. Thanks.
Hello.
Hi, Rachel. Welcome
Hi,
to
nice to meet you.
this is the governance committee of the Mansfield Downtown Partnership, and thank you for joining us today to sort of expand upon your application to the student rep position of the board. I serve as the chair of the governance committee, and I'm a member of the board is appointed by the university. We have members that are appointed by the town, others that are elected by the membership, and then we have this student rep. So we have short period of time here, just about 15 minutes, to sort of expand upon those questions. And so I'm going to ask us to go around. These are everybody's, just to introduce themselves to you when they ask a question. And then if you have any questions at the end, you can ask them then. All right. I'm going to start with Diana.
Hi, Rachel. Welcome. I'm Diana Peltier. I'm an emeritus board member. I also work at a school in town, and I live in the town of Mansfield. So I'm just going to ask you if you can expand on what you had written in your resume and in your note to us about your characteristics, skills, and experiences that you would contribute to what you would contribute to the board.
So are you asking about prior experience or character traits?
All of the above, I guess. Any type of characteristics, skills, experience, anything that you could bring to the board.
Okay, so I was involved with a couple volunteer programs in high school. One was Key Club, and you volunteered at local events. You would you had held fundraisers, events for kids, maybe volunteering at the library, a number of different places you would go around town to try and, I guess, enrich the community. And then, let's see, I also did a club called Youth Service Action Group, which was another volunteer club in high school where you attended events in town, and you kind of worked at them. There were like road races, charity groups, and you just tried to make local events more, to make them more exciting and increase involvement. So yeah, I really wanted to do that in college as well. Of course, yeah, the first year there wasn't as much going on for me, but my second year I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for volunteering in college.
Great. Thank you. Betsy?
Hi, I'm Betsy Patterson. I'm a resident of Mansfield, former mayor of Mansfield. Also worked at the university in finance and as the bursar. And I have been involved with the partnership since the beginning. And my question to you is, why are you interested in being the student representative on this board?
Well, I would be honored to represent UConn. I really, I found a place here as a student, and I want to, as a part of Mansfield, I want to become more involved in town events. I've always been good at party planning and planning events with my friends, and I'd love to help the town do that on a greater scale. I think that involvement is a really important part of community.
Thank you. And we need that kind of involvement from students. Thank you very much.
Sean?
Thank you, Frank. Good evening, Rachel. Nice to meet you. My name is Sean Basington. I'm a resident of Mansfield, and I work at the University of Connecticut in planning, design, and construction. And my question for you is, how would you get your fellow students interested in the downtown through participation, advocacy, things along those lines?
I could post about it on social medias. I could put up flyers around campus. There's a weekly newsletter called the Daily Digest where you can send in announcements to, and students can read through that. Perhaps I would talk to some professors or the student activities office at the student union, and they could figure out some other ways to interest students in the whole town of Mansfield in the area.
Okay, thank you.
Steve?
Hi, Rachel. Welcome to our meeting today. Nice to meet you. My name is Steve Bacon, and I'm an emeritus board member. I have lived in town for a good many years, and when I was active on the board, I was representative of the business community. We find that our candidates for the student position on the board of directors are very active students and very active in extracurricular activities. But it's important that the person that we choose to be our student representative be available for our board meetings. So I have a couple of questions related to your availability. One is whether or not you can attend on a regular basis our monthly board meetings. We meet on the first Thursday of the month from starting at 4:30 and typically running for about 90 minutes to about 6 o'clock in the evening. So the first question is, will your schedule permit you to attend board meetings on a monthly basis on the first Thursday of the month during that time?
The meetings are at 4:30, you said, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that would work with my schedule.
Okay. And do you have plans for this summer with respect to being in the area or on campus? Because we do have an annual meeting in June, and the board typically meets also in August. Would you be available during the summer as well?
Yes.
And lastly, we ask our board members to participate in one of our committees. And as is the case with the board, a committee typically will meet later in the afternoon at 4:30 once a month. Would you be available for committee meetings as well?
Yes.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks. Kyle.
Hi, Rachel. My name's Kyle Muncie. I'm the Director of Brand Partnerships and Trademark Management for the university, and I also serve as the President of the Board of Directors. I think, and we're really fortunate to have had a fantastic board representative from the student population the last several years. We're certainly hopeful that between you and other candidates that will continue. But we know that with the best of the best in these particular positions, obviously this isn't the only thing that you're involved in. So I'm curious if you can talk a little bit about time management and how, between your class schedule and your other extracurriculars, and then something like this, as we head into a time where we're really busy as a board and engaging in a strategic planning initiative. If you can talk a little bit about your experience with time management and how you'd certainly make the most of an opportunity to be a part of the board.
Yes, sure. So I really enjoy organizing my schedule days in advance. I have a planner, and because I use it so often, I check it multiple times a day. I never miss assignments or get behind. I'll submit, as an English major, I'll submit essays a few days in advance. Some projects I submit a couple weeks in advance if I can. But I've always emphasized time management. That was something that I learned in high school, and I continue to use my time as effectively as I can in college to get good grades and also manage my social life and extracurriculars and all of that.
Fantastic. Thanks, Rachel.
Great. Rachel, I think Steve Bacon mentioned that we have different work groups as well as committees, assignments. And I was interested in your interest in the board. There's areas that are related to planning, finance, budgeting, marketing. Is there are one of those areas of in particular interest to you?
I think that planning would be interesting to me, and potentially marketing, because I guess the organization comes into it a lot. If you plan things in advance, planning, I like being able to call and take initiative myself and reserve the location, figure out who's going to work there, in staffing it, what activities are going to be provided. So I think definitely the planning I'd probably lean towards, but anything I'm assigned to would work.
Is there anything that we haven't asked you that you'd like to share with us?
Are the meetings in the downtown Mansfield area? And if so, like what building is the designated site?
Good question. Our full board meetings are typically in the town hall, in the chambers of the town hall. So that's right past E.O. Smith, the next building down. So and then we have committee meetings. I know this committee meets, when we're meeting in person, we meet right in the right above the Nash Zimmer Transportation Center in the downtown. I don't know, where does finance and growth meet?
Yeah, when they're not meeting virtually, also meet
Right.
in the partnership
Oh, they do.
office on the second floor of the Nash Zimmer Transportation Center.
Okay, is that transportation center downtown in the
Yeah, it's with
center?
the red awning, if you know where that is, Rachel.
Okay, I believe I
Yeah.
know where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't always know it as the Nash Zimmer, but
Mhm.
that's the official name.
Okay.
Right.
Yep, I think that's all the questions I have.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for joining our committee and expanding on those questions. Cynthia, do you want to just provide a wrap up as the next steps?
Sure. So Rachel, we're trying to, the committee's trying to wrap up its interviews today and present a recommendation to the full board. The hope is to have our student on board for, for our annual meeting and have some transition with our current student board rep, Prabhas KC. Prabhas is graduating this weekend, but some training and just again, some transition. His term goes officially until the end of June, but we always try to get our student rep on earlier than that again. So there's some collaboration and transition.
Okay.
Great. Well, thanks again for joining us today.
Yep, it was nice to meet all of you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Meet you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Rachel. Nice meeting you.
Bye.
All right. At this point, I think I'm looking for a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Betsy, all in favor?
Do we have a second? I'm sorry.
I'll second.
All right. All right. Betsy.
Move
Right,
to
we're-
adjourn, is that what you're looking for?
Wait, hold it. No, I have to summarize. You win, Betsy.
I second.
Okay, Kyle, we're a team.
The governance committee, we completed our interviews for the student representative. But given pending resolution on the table to add a second position, the committee decided to make our appointments at the special meeting that immediately follows the annual meeting that will be held in June. In addition, we also reviewed and advanced the two nominations of Louis Goffinet and Ron Shuren, who will be filling the term of Amanda Hanslick. I think that's our conclusion. I think I already have like a preloaded motion to adjourn and a second from Betsy and Kyle respectively.
I'm sorry, Frank. I think we should vote on those nominations of Louis and Ron and Emily.
Excellent. All right. Thank you. That's right. We have, we'll do them as a slate. So again, that's Louis Goffinet for a full term, Ron Shuren taking the remainder of Amanda Hanslick's term, and the reappointment of Emily Wicks, our current board member. We have a motion Betsy,
So moved.
all right,
Second.
Betsy and Steve, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right. Approved unanimously. All right, Betsy, you ready?
Move to adjourn.
All right,
And a second.
great.
All right,
Thanks,
Kyle.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.
Thanks,